Alright guys, so anytime you're balancing an equation, the first thing that you want to do is write down how many of each element you have on both sides. Alright, so you're going to want to write this on your own piece of paper. So over here, because there's no subscript next to the K, there's just one K. So I'm going to put K-1, and that 1 just represents that there's one K element. And then for CL, there are 2, because we've got the 2 subscripts there. All right. Now on the other side, remember we did this last time when we were checking for coefficients and subscripts. We are going to write it in the same order that we have on the left side. So we're going to go ahead and just write K and CL, and then we're going to write how many of each one we have. Again, there's no subscript, so it's an imaginary 1. So there's 1K. And then there's no subscript after the CL, so that's an imaginary 1. So there's 1 CL. All right, so when we look at this now, we have to check to see if they're the same, if each element has the same number of atoms. If they do, it's balanced. If not, it's not. So over here we have 1K, over here we have 1K, so the K is balanced. So we'll go and check the CL. We have 2 CLs over here, we only have 1 CL over here, so this is not balanced, because if it were, the CLs would be equal to each other on both sides. So now what we have to do is we can go place coefficients in front where we need to balance the equation. What I always say is that you want to balance the side that's lower. So for example, you have 2 CLs over here. It doesn't make sense for us to put a number in front of CL because that's just going to make this side bigger, and it's not fixing the fact that this side needs more CLs. So we're going to put the coefficient over here. Remember, coefficients get multiplied. It's like the distributive property. So if I put a 2 right here, that 2, remember, it's going to get multiplied to both the K and it's going to get multiplied by the CL. So what happens now is we actually now have 2 Ks and we have 2 CLs. So now once we've put a coefficient, we have to check to make sure it's balanced, or sometimes it ends up unbalancing another element, and that's okay. We just go and add a coefficient there. So we've got 2 CLs over here, we've got 2 CLs over here, so CL is good. But now we have 2 Ks over here, we only have 1 K over here, right? So now we have to balance the Ks. So to do that, this side is now the smaller side, so I want to put a coefficient over here. So I'm going to put a 2 right here, because again, 2 times 1 is 2. And now I have a balanced equation because I have 2 Ks over here, I have 2 Ks over here, I have 2 CLs over here, and I have 2 CLs over here. For this one right here, you can either put a 1 if you want. You don't have to. We can just assume it's an imaginary 1, but the coefficients that would make this balanced would be 2 in front of the K, 1 in front of the CL2, and then 2 in front of the KCL.